Welcome to Fandom
and Wellness,
a podcast about the complex relationship between fandom and mental health.
Disclaimer, we are not psychiatrists or psychologists. We're just fangirls with a vested interest in mental health. This episode, we will be talking about Bob's Burgers with our special guest, Kosi Harris.
Hi.
Hello.
So I know Kosi through Geek Girl Brunch, and I know you do PR work. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, I've been doing PR for about 8 to 9 years now. It varies from retail, consumer products. I'm doing a lot of nonprofit work, which I'm very excited about. One of them is actually the Tourette's Association of America, and I end up getting a few great placements for them in regards to a girl who has Tourette's that was kicked out of the movie theater for before she watched Endgame.
Oh no!
Awesome. I heard about that.
Yeah, she was a geek girl like us, so AMC is rectifying it, and we're hoping that they get some sensitivity training. So it's great to see that result come out of it.
Wow.
That is good. That's good that they're being, I guess it's not proactive, but reactive in this situation now, so that at least they're trying to amend everything that happened.
Exactly. Right. And then
thank you for doing that.
You're welcome, of course. And it was great to give back.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know, and I know you give back a lot. You're a part of a lot of different organizations that give back to several different communities.
Yes, another one is called Birthright Africa, and it helps city students. It's in New York right now, but they sponsor trips for students to go to the motherland and learn about history.
Wow,
that's really
nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
love that.
That is very nice. That is an option that not everyone has, especially financially, can do. So, I think it's great.
Right.
To be able to do that and see that, because I know in other cultures they have birthright and you're able to go back to the motherland of your own people or religion, and if you're Black in America you don't necessarily get that experience because that experience has been taken from your ancestors. So
exactly, and you don't know. So
these
kids start to know and be more knowledgeable of where they came from to help them in their future endeavors.
Awesome. So when we have a guest on, we like to ask what their pronouns are. Ours are all she, her, hers. What are yours?
She, her, hers.
Great.
Yay.
Thank you. So let's get into Bob's Burgers.
Yay!
Yeah, thank you for coming on. We all know how much you love the show. So you are going to be a great guest to talk about it with us. So let's start with Bob.
Oh.
What was that?
Oh, Bob. I feel like I send you guys a lot of Bob gifts whenever Jenny says whenever Jenny says something.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my god.
I do love that show has become just like a cultural phenomenon.
Yes.
With GIFs and memes.
It has.
So let's talk Bob for a little bit. He's the super supportive patriarch of the family. Small business owner.
Yes, he's a dad. He loves his children. He loves his job. He has his flaws at moments, but I think overall he cares more about the happiness of his family than anything else.
He truly does.
Definitely.
I also really like his personality and his demeanor. It's just very funny to me. Just this, I guess, a reluctant hero almost.
Yeah, I guess you could say he is a reluctant hero.
It is funny to imagine him as Archer because it's the same voice actor,
right?
And he was in home videos too.
Yes,
I don't really watch Archer, but I did love home videos.
Mm-hmm.
I think the quote that probably epitomizes him is when I forgot it exactly, but it's something like, "I'm going, but I'm gonna complain the whole time."
Yes,
which is great.
That meme is all over the place. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about his relationships with his kids and his wife later, but that is he'll do anything for his family.
Right.
Like,
Oh yeah.
And he's like very quirky too, especially when it comes to Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yes.
I love the
Talking-
Thanksgiving episodes.
Yes, talking to the turkeys.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's his fourth child, I guess.
Yeah, I guess honestly Thanksgiving is his fourth child.
Well, I meant the turkey. But
Oh, well.
I guess the
Oh my God,
holiday too.
Thanksgiving.
But
He
he
wants
kills
all
it.
of Thanksgiving.
eats it.
Alright.
Yeah, I love him.
I love Linda. Well, let's talk about Linda.
I am Linda. I sing talk nonstop. So
I'm always dancing. Linda, I will say she is a supportive mother, and she's also quite like Bob in the fact that she's very supportive and loves her family and she will do anything for her family's happiness. But she has a little bit more of a positive outlook on life, and I think that's where they play best off of each other. She's like, do this, and he's like, I don't want to do this. This isn't what I want to do. She's like, well, you're going to do it whether you like it or not.
yeah, but she also, like, she throws a lot of shade sometimes, and Bob just, like, laughs about it.
Yes.
It's just like...
She does. I feel like she tends to... Not all the time. It's not 100%, because I will say they have a good balance at balancing all the parenting duties. But I feel like she's usually the one that has to deal with a lot of the mess of the kids sometimes.
Yeah.
And those kids are a lot.
Yes.
They're extra. They're the definition of extra.
I keep thinking of scenes that like show their personalities. Is one what I remember there was a scene where Bob, for some reason, is yelling in bed, and she wakes up and is like, "What? Where's how? Yeah, I can help you hide the body." Like,
I was
what's
gonna
going
say
on?
that, and she's like, "I will have to take the kids out of school, homeschool the kids." And Bob is like, "You had all that ready?" And she's like, "I'm just being supportive."
Yes.
Linda's a ride or die, and
Yes.
that's what you need to know. Is Linda's a ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Jenny, who's your fave?
My fave is Tina Belcher.
Yes.
She is like, she's so funny, and also she's almost like who I want to be, because she is so confident. She's I guess she's much younger than me, but like a role model, because she's so confident in her sexuality. And
yeah, I love that Tina has basically become an icon.
Yes.
Especially because she's not who you would normally think of that like girls would want to be, like traditionally like skinny and like
she's an
popular
atypical
and stuff
teenage,
like that. Like she's made fun of at her high school or grade
school.
I don't know how old she is, honestly.
She's in middle school.
Yeah, they're all in the same school, so I guess she's in middle school. She's made fun of by the popular girls, so it's funny that she's like who so many people relate to and want to be.
Well, I feel like that's kind of how a lot of girls felt growing up, especially like those of us that are adults now. We can look back and be like, wow, I really relate to Tina as a child, and even still relate to her now. So like, she's just like an atypical character that we're not super used to getting, but love.
Yeah.
Right. I feel as though I was Tina in high school with guys.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely was.
We all were Tina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah. I can see that. I don't even think
not as obsessed with butts as she was, but I could dig it.
I wasn't open about it, but I definitely was.
I really relate to the noises that she makes all the time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, just laying face down on the floor.
Yes.
Just groaning. And her family's just kind of like, okay, that's just like what's happening. They don't. What I love is that they don't try to like make her someone else. They just let her be.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They just like allow her to lay on the floor groaning.
I'm not always doing that, but I am in my mind. I'm always doing that. So
yeah.
And you're also grabbing a bowl of spaghetti and running away, doing that. That scene when she grabbed the spaghetti in her hand and ran away, I was like, that's not how you eat. Oh, I love Tina. Another of my favorite characters is Gene Belcher, and I feel like he doesn't get enough credit because he has the best one-liners on the show. In my opinion, he has the far best one-liners.
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing.
He is. And
He's very self-aware.
He is.
Well, he's simultaneously self-aware and not,
and not at the same time. Like when he's like banging on everything, he's like, I can't believe someone would tell me to stop making this beautiful music, and it's like you're banging with a broomstick on the stove. But
he's definitely chaotic neutral, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he's chaotic beautiful.
Oh,
okay. He's definitely. I don't know what. I know he's definitely chaotic. Like Louise is chaotic, but so is Jane.
Like some of the best one-liners. She's like, "You can't be trusted until I can have a like." When that I was saying earlier, I just ate Girl Scout cookies for breakfast, and the line where he's like, "Are you not gonna let me have cookies because I ate all the Shim Sham cookies and threw up in your bed?" That's exactly how I feel right now. I was like, I can't be trusted. I ate cookies for breakfast and now I'm sick.
Good times.
Good times. But Gene has the best one-liners, and I love that he's the middle child. I definitely think he has a little bit of middle child syndrome, and everyone does tend to forget about him because, like, Tina's always on something crazy. Like, she's always obsessed with something new. And then Louise is always trying to kill somebody or get revenge or, like, sneak out and, like, run away. So it's like, Gene is fine. They just tend to, like, ignore him. And I think that's kind of the common cause with a lot of things that happen with middle children.
I do like that Gene has a love of music.
Yes.
Like, when they do explore his episodes, like, he has a deep love of music. Like, you remember when he started the band?
Oh, yes. That was so sweet. Yeah, he started the band. And even in the Topsy episode, when he, like, composed the music for it.
Oh, yeah. Electric Love.
Yes. Or, like, just, he loves music. He loves his keyboard.
I love how supportive they are of his music as well.
Yes.
Like, when, like in the episode where they're doing, like the musical theater episode in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With that like burglar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told Gene to play him out.
Yeah.
What about you, Kosi? Who are your favorite Who's your favorite character or family member?
I know.
Louise Belcher!
And you cosplay her, and it's super cute.
Yes, I love her. I think because I just feel I have similarities to her. We're both the youngest kids. We drive our families crazy. I like that she's just so clever. I think maybe Louise is a Slytherin, because I'm a Slytherin too, but she's very clever.
Yes, I could see that.
And cunning too. And like she's always like doing some sort of like money scheme. Like you remember when she
She is.
And
Louise is a scammer.
Yeah, she's such like a hustler. I love that. Like when they did they did the downstairs casino.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And she was walking around with like a blazer. I'm like, yes.
Even the art crawl episode where she had the twins outside painting tchotchke artwork to sell.
Yes, and she had the twins counting money in their underwear in that casino episode. Like, who is this?
She did. She was like, if you're not wearing clothes, that means you can't hide anything. Like, damn.
So, what a weirdo.
It's like, how do you know that? And you're like 9.
Yeah, she's a 9-year-old child.
But I do like that she's like a daddy's girl.
She is.
Deep down. You could tell her. I like her and Bob's dynamic.
She loves her father.
Some of my favorite moments are probably when you kind of see the heart of gold that she has.
Yes.
Way buried underneath.
Oh my god. Yeah, no. Well, speaking of her relationship with her dad, let's talk about the parents' relationship with all their children.
They're so supportive.
They are.
Yes.
They're a good TV family, and I will say they're one of the top 5 TV families that I love to see, like, on screen. Because so many of them are dysfunctional or, like, trying to tear each other down or just not good at, like, communicating and all these other things. And I feel like Bob's Burgers really touches the nail or hits the nail on the head with like what it's like to have a family and deal with crazy kids. And they're always up to something while also trying to run a business.
They parent, but they let their kids be. Like, they let their kids experience life and learn, and they don't try to control every aspect of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they wish they could control them a little bit.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But...
yeah, but they were, even...
I don't know. I mean, they seem to, like, laugh off, like, their kids', like...
Well, not always.
Craziness. Yeah. I mean...
Sometimes
sure.
they get angry.
Sure. Sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. They do tend to. Like, there was a scene in one episode, I forgot what they were doing. Kids were up to something. And Mr. Fandom was like, don't you know what your kids do? And she was like, I can't know every single thing that they do. And I'm like, true. I don't think my mother knew every single thing that I was doing either.
Right.
It would like, a lot of parents try to know every single thing their kid does, and it drives them insane.
Yeah.
Like, what that must do to your mental health.
Yeah.
like, it's so stressful. Just, like, you have to let your kids live. And I think that Bob's Burgers is a perfect example of what that could be like. Because, like, their kids love their parents. Like, there's an episode where Bob, like, fires them from the restaurant.
Yes.
Because, like, Bob's been working his whole life for I guess his, like, dad or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he, in his head, thought maybe, like, his kids feel forced to work there. So he fires them, but the kids feel like they're, like, not wanted. Because they love being there because of the dynamic that the parents have created with them.
Right.
It's like they have a super healthy relationship.
You do. I mean, they ended up going to work on a pot farm. Like, the parallels, like, oh, this looks like a and they had no clue. There was one, oh my god. The line where it was the old couple and they were like, it's all weeds, and Louise is like, why don't you just burn it all down? And they're like, we will, one dime bag at a time.
Oh my god.
And I was like, how did they get that on TV? How did they get this on TV?
That's so funny.
Oh my
Yeah, their getaway scene was hilarious because they were trying to, like, sing while, like, on the bike.
god. Right, left,
Right.
left.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, like Bob, like, went to, like, the, like, brony show to, like, get that, like, exclusive, like
Her
pony thing
back.
for Tina that Tina didn't even end up caring about at the end. And then he just kind of had to, like, shrug it off, like, okay.
No,
on a
he
different
told her
show,
to
like-
play with the pony. He's like, play with it. He just got
Oh,
the tattoo.
okay.
Yeah,
He's
he
like,
got-
play with the horse. And she's like, this isn't how you play with it.
Or when he did a side gig for Tina's birthday party.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the first episodes.
Yes, that was very sweet.
That was when they established, like, this is a family that cares about each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I will say that's one of the reasons it attracted me so much to the show, because it was something that I was living with the next of the time, and they were always watching this, and I was always at work, so I'd come home, and I was like, I don't know what this is. And when he explained it to me and sat down and watched it, and I was like, oh my god, I love this, and I've just, like, been in love with it for years now.
Nice. I wanted to also talk about how they handled Tina, going back to Tina and how her sexuality is not shamed at all, and like it's like probably one of the better portrayals of teenage sexuality, female sexuality that I've seen.
It is.
And it's great that they address it on like a cartoon, basically.
Yeah, I also think it's like, it goes to show how great of a dynamic their family has, and like that the parents don't really shame her.
Yeah, they're not trying to tell her to stop doing it. It's like I wouldn't say they're encouraging her and telling her she has to, but it's more like, get it all out. Just get it all out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, she's obsessed with butts, like she's a teenager.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure Linda was definitely obsessed with butts. No, she was obsessed with mustaches.
Yeah, totally.
Riding that stash, yeah.
Or like, oh my god, I wanted the episode it was the reviews episode where they were at like that fair And Louise says to the guy that's drawing caricatures on the side, he's like, I want you to draw a picture of my dad's mustache, really giving it to a caterpillar. And I was like, you're 9. Why do you know what this means?
Oh my god.
But yeah, Jen, do you want to talk about it a little bit more? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I think that women are usually, like, especially when they're younger, are kind of like taught to hide their sexuality. And so it's so refreshing to see how open Tina is with it and how accepting her family is of it. I don't know, do you guys have anything to add about that?
I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's great too, and I like that the fact that like she is becoming like this pop culture phenomenon, and you see it like in artwork, you see it in memes. There's t-shirts about it. It's kind of like bringing that inner child. I feel like that's what people see in Tina.
I feel like a lot of the reasons people do like her is that, well, yes, because she owns her sexuality, but like especially for a lot of women now, like as teenagers, like so many of us didn't have that opportunity to explore that and figure out where we stood or what we really liked. And it was always such a hush-hush thing that seeing her on screen, it's like, this is such a breath of fresh air. We can really enjoy and understand like the feelings we had in high school, because those are things you weren't necessarily allowed to explore.
Yeah, and if you did, you were ashamed for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got made fun of for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I put in my adult life, I posted a photo that showed like, like a little booty in it, and it was it was just like probably like 10 different memes of Tina like expressing love of butts.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm really happy with where this went.
You have a great booty.
Thank you. And
All of you do.
And
thank you.
yeah, and Tina is a gift.
She really is.
Yeah, and her friends, a lot of them are like, you're weird, like Tammy and.
I don't know if I
whatever.
consider Tammy her friend. I'm sure Tina
Right,
thinks
yeah,
Tammy is her friend. Tammy does not think
whatever.
Tina is her friend.
At times, in episodes.
No, it's a friend of me. We all had those in high school, believe me.
Yes. Okay, yeah, we did.
Yeah. So I think that's accurate too, because they probably in their families are not like given the space to express their sexuality in a healthy way.
Yeah.
I don't remember if she's ever been given like a sex talk, but I would love to hear what that ends up being.
Yeah.
Her saying, I know, at the end.
I already learned this
I
from
don't know. I
TV.
feel like it's gonna be about like zombies and like, or she's gonna turn it into like.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, she'll be like, okay, can you explain it but with zombies?
Yes.
Yes. And then they will.
Yeah.
They totally will.
And she'll put it in a fan fiction,
Friend fiction.
Yes.
Friend fiction. Her friend. I love it.
Yes. Yeah, so let's also talk about Bob and Linda's relationship, because it's great. As a relatively newly married person, it is. It's goals. It's goals. I'll say that.
I think at this point, I'm just judging by the age that the characters are, not how many seasons. They've been together for they've been married for 15 years. They were together before that, but Tina is now 14, 15, so I'm assuming somewhere between that. They've been
Tina's
together.
14, 15, then... Well, if Tina's 15, she's in... Whatever.
No, she's 13, I think.
Yeah.
14 or 13.
But yeah, I agree with you. They have to have been married for a good 15 years.
Yes, we're together for that long. And it's they've made it work. I have yet to see them have an episode about their marriage counseling, or how they handle their marriage, because they do get into spites and spackles, but I think as a whole they get along great. They understand each other's strengths and weaknesses and never try to they're never malicious about the other's weaknesses. And I think that's so hard when you're in a relationship or with anyone, any kind of relationship, whether romantic or not. we forget that the person is a person, and we'll be like, well, you're like this, and it's like, that's a weakness. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Yeah, they don't really project. Like, I mean, there's like, I don't know, there's maybe like 1 or 2 episodes where they project, and then like the kids diffuse it.
There was a recent Valentine's Day episode that happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
The
about.
one with the pile of laundry. And...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There was an episode where Bob was trying to find a jukebox.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and
I
Linda.
thought that was really sweet.
Yes.
That was sweet. It was the wrong box. But
He tried so
he
hard.
spent $500 on the wrong thing. I mean, the thought was there, and I think that's also so hard, because she could have been like, well, you still didn't get me anything. Like, the thought and the effort were all there. Did he mess it up in the end? Absolutely. But, like, he still went through so much trouble to try and get this right for her, and I think, like, that's kind of what counts.
Yeah, and he just clearly loves her so much. Like, I don't know, I don't know. It's not like, do you guys sing talk?
Yes.
Jenny, do you?
Yeah, occasionally. Yeah.
Okay,
Occasionally,
I mean, I do it daily, all day, and like, it's like I relate to like how Bob looks at her when she's doing it. Like, he's like not annoyed, and it's definitely annoying because her voice is terrible and my voice is terrible.
Have any of you watched the John Roberts movie? That's why he is Linda, or the John Roberts YouTubes.
No.
Okay, so he's the voice of Linda, and he's basically like making fun of women from New York in these videos. And you have to look it up, John Roberts on YouTube. And it's like, he's your typical New York, South Brooklyn or Queens mom who's like, come look at my Christmas tree. Come look at it. Plug the tree in. Plug my tree in. Like with the heavy Brooklyn accent. Or he'll be like, come take your mother out for Mother's Day. What are you gonna take me out for Mother's Day? Look at that duck. That duck's so cute. Like, that's why
That's Linda.
That's Linda. That is Linda.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that, because like I love that the show takes place in like what would be Coney Island.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
then it
Coney
shows,
Island.
like-
That's
It's not
Coney.
Jersey, it's Coney
And it
Island.
basically
Yeah.
shows like the effects of gentrification, that like the store next to him is constantly being replaced
Yeah.
by a different store. You know what I mean? Like
It's that they even tackled it in a more recent episode too, that his restaurant, which has been there for so long, didn't make it on the list of like trendy new places to eat, and that will that definitely affects his business. It's like all these other burger places are super trendy and offering all these other things, and it's like he's a mom and pop shop. Like, why? He also offers amazing burgers, so the fact that like no one's taken a look at his menu and seen all the work he puts into his burger of the day, like he should.
Oh God, they're so clever.
They are
Yeah.
so clever. Baby, you can chive my burger.
I was just thinking about that one.
Yes.
I'm glad he was able to make it that one time. You remember that?
I was, yes.
yeah, yeah. So Linda and the kids all work at this restaurant with him, which is very accurate to what it's like growing up in a small business family, which is what I did as a kid. Like, I worked at my dad's company from the age of like probably like 5, because like as soon as I was able to physically work, I started working for him. And I don't mean anything strenuous,
No,
obviously. Like,
You
he
help
owned, like,
around. You're helping
yeah,
out.
like he owned a plantscaping company, and so like I like cleaned the plants, and like when we did like holiday decorations at like different corporate buildings, I would go with them and help like decorate like Christmas trees and wreaths and things like that.
Now I need to see baby Danielle.
I know.
I can show you
Baby
video.
Danielle
He
with
also-
plants.
My dad also worked for like this I don't know if it was a pharmaceutical company or whatever, but selling like these things called like proto bears or something like that, which were like, they're basically like, or phyto bears like that. They were like gummy bears, but they were like vitamins.
Oh.
Okay.
And-
Okay.
Yeah.
But me and my siblings were the product photo, the stock photo.
Oh, that's
models.
funny.
Yeah, so like I did like these like hilarious like little kid photos of us like
Definitely
eating gummy
see those
bears.
photos.
Like, yeah, I'll show you those. Yeah, but it's it creates this like you know, a very strong work ethic starting at a very young age, but also like this bond between your family.
Right, that's true. You go through everything together.
Yes.
You know what? It reminds me of that episode where Logan, Louise's like crush, mortal enemy, was working at the restaurant, and Louise was telling Bob at the end of the episode, like, this is our thing. Kind of in terms of like talking about the restaurant, like it's the same type of dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
I get genuinely stressed out by all the stress that they go through.
And
keep
it really
it open.
And it is like that. I mean, I think they do a pretty good job not making their kids more stressed out and not fighting with each other more, because owning a small business is extremely stressful. Especially one that isn't that profitable. Like, his restaurant is not that profitable, right? Like, it's often empty.
It's often empty. I feel, in my mind, for what
the rent
he's
must
serving,
be extremely high.
Yeah, the fish odor definitely ups the rent, but I feel like for what he's serving, he should definitely be charging more.
Oh yeah, they're gourmet burgers, basically.
Yeah, he needs a business plan.
You need to step up in there. Excuse me, Mr. Burgers. Yeah, but it's. I think it's a really interesting and like accurate take on what it's actually like to kind of like work with your parents, like with like, because like they can't do like the cooking at that young of an age. It's dangerous. They can't like. So they're like cleaning up the shop and like doing what they can do.
Yeah.
And
like wiping.
They're probably paid like an allowance or something like that. Like,
yes,
not,
they are.
Yeah.
They don't know it because Louise has been stealing it. There was a whole episode where she's like, I've been squirreling away all of your allowance for the last 2 years. And they were like, wait, we get allowance? And she's like, nothing. It's nothing.
Again, Slytherin.
Yes.
Good job, Kosi.
And so the only person who really goes to the restaurant, like, is Teddy, right?
Yes.
Mort does.
And Mort. Yes, you're right. And
Mort.
But Teddy is like a fixture. He's part of the restaurant.
Yes.
Yeah, like Mort's business is next door, so I feel like that's more like, all right, I'm on my lunch break.
Yeah.
And I guess Teddy is Bob's best friend, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They established that. Yes, there was a whole episode around.
He was reluctant to say so,
Yes.
but he is. What do you guys think about that relationship?
I mean, like Teddy's obviously kind of codependent on Bob, but he obviously adores him and would, I think, literally kill for him.
Oh damn, we're going there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're right. Actually, he is very codependent. He's
very codependent.
He's dedicated to that man.
Right. He even did Linda's bed and breakfast that time. Remember? He took.
Oh yeah, and he supported it. He gave her the money, and he's like, "I'll do it. I'll stay there."
Mm-hmm.
He's a very supportive friend, I will say.
Yeah, and Bob, like, you know, he provides an important role in his life because Teddy is like kind of like always single.
Yeah, I feel like and this is me speaking towards him, knowing he's one of my least favorite characters on the show. He's always supportive of them, and they're always supportive of him and helping him to become a better person. Like, yes, he's very sweet. He's not always on the mark with a lot of things, but he does try, and
they don't always think he makes the wisest decisions.
Yes.
But
like
they're willing to help him.
Yeah.
Like when he got the boat. Remember that boat episode? And he went to drive past his ex-wife and the boat crashed, like, within a minute.
Oh, man.
Teddy.
And they warned him it wasn't a great idea. They were like, why do you want to just gloat on your ex-wife?
Like, yeah.
And you remember she didn't even see him. They had to do it twice.
Yeah, they did it a couple times, and then he was like, Denise, and then he crashed, and I was like, oh god, this is embarrassing.
Yeah. But it's funny, you know what's so great about the show? It's like, you know people like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Him, like the lunch ladies.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
What other characters do you like, Arkeida?
Oh, I was gonna say like some other.
Being that you don't like
aside
Teddy.
from Teddy, like all the other minor characters or secondary characters, I love. But my favorites are like the Pesto family, like Andy and Ollie. I hate Jimmy Pesto Jr. I think he's the worst. I don't think he's a good option. I think Zeke and Tina belong together. Zeke would do anything for her.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Pesto Jr. is like, oh, I guess another boy likes you, so I like you now. I don't like him. He is not good for her. Zeke is so sweet.
Jimmy Pesto has a lot of jealousy issues for a boy who won't commit.
Yeah, he does. I'm like, what are you're literally leading her along, and then when she finds someone new, he's like, well, I want you, and I was here first. And I'm like, so what? No one cares.
I agree with you. Zeke is better.
Yeah,
Yes.
Zeke is better.
Zeke is much better. But the entire Pesto family, I actually think Jimmy Pesto Sr. really likes Bob.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
yeah.
he's always bothering him. Like, why do you care so much?
Because he knows he's not as good of a cook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
why
adores
Bob doesn't
him.
That's why Bob doesn't actually like usually antagonize him, because he knows he's a better cook,
Yeah.
which has been proven multiple times on the show.
Yes, it has. Not
But yeah,
Pesto.
really quickly going back to Jimmy Pesto, I love when Tina just like shows that she actually doesn't give a fuck, because sometimes like you know, I feel like more towards the beginning of the show, Tina would be a little bit heartbroken over Jimmy Pesto, but now we've gotten to see more scenes of her kind of like owning herself and being like,
Yeah.
you know what, there's other zombies in the sea.
Yes,
Yes.
she's owning herself. And she's
There's
also
more-
calling him out on his BS. Like, there's an episode recently-ish.
Yeah, where they're running the
Yeah, the dance, and he's like, I'm not taking you. She's like, well, you promised, so why can't you? What's happening?
Oh, okay. Well, also they were running the mile recently, and she was like, do you want to run it together? And he was like, no, I'm faster than you. But then it turned out he was
Wow.
a terrible runner, so she ran slightly ahead of him the whole time.
Shady.
and then yeah, and then she like felt bad and decided to like run next to him because he like apologized while running. And then he like went to like try to run faster than her, and she was like, okay, never mind. And she went back to running slightly ahead of him so he would feel bad again.
See, like, she's owning. She's like, you know,
So I
I
love
feel like
that.
it took a couple of seasons for her to be like, you ate shit. Like, I hate to say it, but Jimmy Pesto ate shit. She's
Yeah, to see like
better.
okay,
She
like
just-
other people will like me for who I am. Like it.
Yes.
Yeah. She was
I
just
don't-
blinded by his butt.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was all about the butt and the dancing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I definitely so the episode, they introduced these characters really early on. It was Cha-Cha and Marshmallow.
I don't know who
I don't
those
remember
people
who
are.
they
Do you
are.
remember when
I have
he
forgotten
was-
more about this show than I remember, probably, because there's so many seasons. I
are
love it
so
so
many
much, but
seasons.
there's so many seasons.
There's so much to watch, and I feel like there's an episode in this show for everybody and something for everyone to relate to. But these were the transgender. They were introduced in the taxi episode.
Yes.
Yes, and there was Marshmallow, who's the bigger black woman, and then Cha-Cha, who's like Hispanic. It's great. They're always around, and it's like when you least expect them, they come and they give Tina a bit of advice, and then they're gone. And I love them, and I love Marshmallow, and I love that line. They're like, "Why do you call you Marshmallow?" And they're like, "If you give me a sweet potato, I'm all on top of that."
Oh wow.
Yeah, and Louis said, I knew it!
What about you guys? Do you guys have any favorite minor or secondary characters?
I think the school staff cracks me up. When Jean, and I forgot the girl who has like a big crush on him, they were doing the morning announcements, and one of the school staffers who used to do them was so territorial about it, and she was
Miss
trying to
LeBron.
yes, and she was trying to like sabotage them. She even said like, "I am the morning announcements." Like you knew people like that growing up in school.
Yep. Yes. I will say I love. Other one I love is Mr. Bronca. He's
Yes.
a very supportive janitor. He's so sweet. And I love that all the kids know and love him.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
he's like, he said it on several occasions that he's an immigrant. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really Coney Island. Like, this is Coney Island right here. He's technically a refugee because he said he used to be like royalty or something wherever he was from. And there was a revolution and he had to leave.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
Yeah.
damn, Mr. Bronco, what happened?
Damn, where's his show?
Yeah, where your show at?
Make
But-
an episode about that. I would think people would dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Mr. Bronco, because he's always supportive and he always talks to Tina. Tina's on he's said to Tina, "You're my best friend."
Oh.
Which is so sweet because Tina's like, they all love him. Like whenever when they tried to like, I think it was they tried to like sneak the robot out when they had the robot, and it was Mr. Bronco. And they were like, "Here, do you need the keys? Here you go." He's so sweet. He's a sweet old man, and I think all of us, had somebody in the school that was an adult figure that we could talk to like that. And that was really kind. Or most, I can't say all of us, but a lot of us did. And I
Yes.
definitely had one of those.
Nah.
I don't know if everyone had one of those.
Okay. Anyone else have any favorite minor characters or minor groups?
No, I mean, you seem to be the database on it, so just keep rattling them.
I could keep going.
Go
So
ahead.
we all remember Millie Frock.
Do we?
She is the one that's obsessed with Louise.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
Millie and Louise. Millie
Yeah.
and Louise.
Yeah, Louise can't stand her.
Louise
She
wants, yeah, I
nothing
think
to
she's
do with
grown on
anyone
her.
other than her family.
No. I think Millie has grown on Louise because I think they're getting close to friends now. They're getting there. I like that they introduced Millie in a way that you wouldn't expect because they tried to explore Louise's friendship with other kids and like it works because the only other friend that she really has outside of her siblings is regular sized Rudy. And then they tried to have that sleepover. And what was that girl's name? I forgot her name. The only one that stayed, but she ended up wetting the bed, and that's why she like had her system. And she was like the only one that ended up staying, and they ended up having a great time. But after that, they never revisited that friendship that she had with somebody outside of her family, except for regular sized Rudy. But like I liked that with Millie. They introduced it as this girl is invading into her life. And sometimes I feel like we all have that friend that we wouldn't have been friends with had they not, like, latched onto us. Do we? I know I was that friend.
I think we've all been. I've been that friend.
I've been that friend. So I was
Yeah.
like, I want to know you. Who are you? I'm gonna come around.
I think that's
all
part
the
of being a
time.
geek girl.
Yes, it
Like
is.
Yes.
this other geek girl's really cool.
Let's
I
get
want to
super
know
obsessive
her.
with them. But yeah, I like Millie a lot. I think that they are going to be friends for a while, and I'm hoping to see more of Millie because as much as I love regular sized Rudy, and I know Louise would do anything for him, like it would be nice for us to see more female friends because
Right.
Yes.
they didn't explore that. They didn't explore past that in that sleepover episode for Louise.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the fact that like Louise is such a tomboy
Yes.
because that's how I was growing up. Like I like it was like I don't know, like almost problematic how much of a tomboy I was because like I would go to different birthday parties, and it was very gendered. It was like all the girls went to like the girl birthday parties and the boys went to the boy birthday parties. And then at the birthday parties, they had like the little like goodie bags when you would leave of like, it would be like little like makeup type things.
Yeah.
And I would be super upset because I was like, I don't want makeup things. I don't want to like have to be like more feminine. Like
Right.
so my mom would have to like, I guess, talk to the other mothers, and they would just like make a little like bag of chocolate or something
Oh
for
wow.
me because I would be like,
Oh man.
there's like a period in my life where my mom like tried to force me to be feminine, and it like really messed with my head a lot. Like like cause like very lasting effects. So I guess at some point she realized like maybe that's not the best thing to do, and so this will be easier.
That's good then that she realized.
Yeah.
I assume that's what happened. I don't really know because I was a child, but I do know that at some point I stopped getting little bags of makeup and things, and I started getting little bags of chocolate.
Nice.
So, and I think that's what happened with Luis as well.
I also want to talk about Mr. Frond.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And how
and how he's not actually a therapist, but
no, not at all.
He doesn't have any credentials.
No. And like, how realistic is that?
Yeah, bless his heart. He tries.
He tries. He does try for the kids. He's not always good at it.
He tries, but he doesn't know what he's doing, and it's not good.
No, it's not.
He doesn't approach them with like kindness,
He
which
doesn't
I think is key.
Or understanding.
Right.
He doesn't. And then he's also like called them out. Like,
yeah,
there was the episode where there was like, what was it? Was it that hurricane that was sweeping through? And there was a kid that thought he caused it because he like was masturbating, and he said, "Is it that thing? Do you want to tell us? Is it because that thing you did?" In front of the whole class.
What?
This poor child.
What?
Yeah, it was the lobster.
Wait, he
fed
shamed a child
episode.
for masturbating?
Yes, or not even mad. He was like grinding against something, and it's like, you're a kid, you're exploring these feelings. But he said to say it in front of the whole class. I was like, dude, that's what I realized. Like, he's off the edge. He's off of something.
Yeah, that's like what my guidance counselor was like in grade school. There,
Really?
yeah, she was really like messed up. Like she would like basically like if you were someone who went to her a lot, then you were one of her favorites, and if you were someone who one of those kids talked about a lot, then she disliked you, and she would start rumors about you.
What?
As a grown woman,
Are you
she would start rumors about children.
Well, you know how adults don't actually have emotional maturity all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that was my like first understanding of what a counselor or therapist is.
Right. Terrible.
Which is like what?
Yeah.
Which is not good. So like I know Mr. Fromm does not have any credentials. I have no idea if 20 years ago the guidance counselor at my school had credentials. I know now they need credentials.
Right. Yeah, you definitely need that.
But even with credentials, you can still be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Yeah, I think he is a bit condescending. And I remember
Mhm.
kind of like in school, like in high school, I had a guidance counselor that was very good, and a guidance counselor that was like Mr. Fron, like condescending, but then trying to act like they're really helping you, and you could just tell that
They're your friend.
Yeah, and you could just tell there was a genuine, intention for it. So I think that's why it works for Bob's Burgers, because again, you could relate to having someone in school like that. And it's ironic because a lot of them are guidance counselors. Like, I know a few people who kind of say the same thing about their guidance counselor, and that's like, what, 10, 20 years ago?
Yeah. Also, it's funny because, like, I guess he's kind of, like, one of the antagonists on the show. Because, like, a lot of shows that are, like, familiar shows, I guess maybe a lot of the, like, fighting is, like, in-family fighting.
Yeah.
But
And
this
it's
show
not.
doesn't really have that.
No.
So I guess, like, the minor characters have to be who the, like, kind of quote-unquote villains are.
Yeah, I like that Bob doesn't take crap from him, though. You could tell. He calls him out. Yeah.
Yeah, but Bob and Linda both are like, no.
Yeah.
Linda's optimistic about it, but Bob is like, this guy's a quack.
Yes.
I don't know
Quack is a perfect word to describe him.
Yeah.
Where did
Although
that come from?
I do like Luis's like very complicated feelings about him. How like she definitely also views him as a quack, but then like there's like that episode where he's like gonna get fired, and she's like, "Damn it, and
Yeah.
doesn't let him get fired.
Yeah, she realizes the person that they're putting in place of him is way worse, and she's like,
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Frank, like, he does care about the kids, but he doesn't know what he's doing, and I think she realized he actually cares, so.
Yeah. So what are your favorite episodes or lines?
Yeah. You go first, Kos.
Mine was this one of the Christmas episodes where she says to Bob, because he's kind of like, when Linda says to Bob, like, put a mistletoe on my butt and kiss it. I thought that was amazing.
I don't remember this episode.
Because she wanted to do, like, pre-decorating after Halloween. And he was looking at her like, why are you doing this? Obviously, common sense. You remember, she's a big Christmas person.
Yes, she is.
And she literally came back with that clapback. I'm like, this is amazing.
Mine's is also butt related. It's when Tina says, "Your ass is grass and I'm gonna mow it."
I say that to so many people, and nobody gets the reference. And I'm like, you guys, no, you're all terrible. You're all terrible.
That is amazing. I mean, it's not really like a line. It's more just like there's a scene in like this. There's the Haunting. It's like the haunted house episode. Where,
I was good.
Because like Louise is like claiming she's like never scared, so they make that like elaborate haunted house. You know what I'm talking?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then like they supposedly end up getting scared. Like the whole family does. So like they hide in the bathroom, and basically like at first like Lynn is saying like, oh, like maybe it's a ghost, and Bob's like there's no such thing as ghosts, and she's like, all right, Bob, what do you think it is? And he's like, it's probably just a murderer. Which is like, and he says it like so, and Tina's like what? And he says it so like deadpan, as if like a murderer is better than a ghost. It made me laugh for like 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
Just like his delivery is so
I know.
good. Like the
It's
things
great.
that he thinks make sense to say. I don't know. Blow my mind.
Ridiculous, yeah. Did you say what your favorite line was, Arkeida?
I don't. What is my favorite line?
Or just one that you really love?
Oh, well, I love all of Linda's lines, but like the line that sticks out to me the most, and I say it all the time, and it's so messed up. But you know the scene where there's that on-couple TV? There's that TV couple, and they're like looking for people to cast. And
Sure.
And Linda is it's a Jean line, and Linda's basically like, oh, they're so cute, they're such a cute couple. And Jean hits it back. She's like, yeah, if you like white people.
Yes!
Oh my god!
Yes. Yes.
And I was like, oh my god, Jean, that's the best thing. Did I lose?
That is.
And I just like, I say that, and not enough people get the reference, and I'm like, sure, if you like white people.
Yeah, that I think that's definitely one of the best lines of the whole series.
Yeah, wow.
And I'm like, wait, but aren't you guys kind of white? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, but that's very me, right? Like, just oh, so good.
What about favorite episodes in general as a whole?
Yeah.
Kosi, you start.
The best one to me is one when they introduced Nikki, the bank robber.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
And it was first initially that Jimmy Pesto was going to give Nikki the food to bring to like the bank, and ended up being Bob, and Bob gets taken hostage. And Louise decides to do a report on the bank robber, and she has this whole like spiel on the phone with him. She's like, that's my daddy! And then she's like, so, Nikki, tell me a few things about yourself. It was just so... I loved it. It was so well written, that whole episode.
Yes, I do.
And at the end of it, she didn't even turn it in, so Bob BS'd him and said, oh, she got an A in it. And Nikki was so happy. He's like, oh my god, poor thing.
Oh my gosh. I remember that. I love
Do you have any other favorites?
The other one was the dinner theater episode. With the another bank robber. I guess it's like a pattern here. I have a thing with Bob's Burgers and bank
Yeah,
robber.
we talked about that one a little bit earlier.
Yeah. I guess another one too is the Christmas episode where this truck driver was stalking them because Linda decided to cut him off. And he's like, I'm gonna bang your butt to like Bob, and Bob's like, please stop saying that. And he's like, are you shivering? Like, it was just like, it was like, dude, like you could tell he was just very tiny and lonely. Just like, give him a hug.
He did need a hug. I had a Dutch baby after that episode. I was like, I want a Dutch baby now.
Sorry, what's a Dutch baby?
It's like a pancake.
Okay, great.
It's like it's a wider pancake. It's so
yes,
good.
we're not
So
actually taking
not a
Dutch
literal
babies.
Dutch baby.
No, we're not taking babies from Holland.
Good to know.
Okay, Arkeida, what was your favorite episode, or some of your favorites?
I think a lot of my favorites center around Jean and Linda.
Yeah, their bond is really
They
strong.
are. It is so sweet. I mean, you get to see more of Jean's bond with Bob in the more recent episodes, but like Jean and Linda have already been established. Like they are best friends. But one of my favorites with Linda is the episode where she turns 40, and the family is discovering all these different aspects about her life. Like when she got locked out of her car and was like making her way trying to get back home, and the family's like, where is she? It's her birthday, she's missing. And they find out that they go to this fancy restaurant or this fancy hotel. She goes to this bakery. She's like all these places, and Bob is like, wow, I didn't know this about my wife.
Yeah, and each of the places are something that reminds her of a different one of her children.
Yes. Yeah. They are, and everyone has like a different, even the people that work there, like they all know, well, most of them all know and love Linda. Right. They'll talk to her.
Everyone loves Linda because she's great.
Except for that bakery guy. He didn't like her because she was taking all the free samples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love a lot of the Linda-centric episodes. I think those are my favorite.
I actually like the Bob and Tina centric episodes the most.
Yes.
I'm not saying necessarily them together, but like separately as well. Like I like the episode where Bob gets stuck in the walls of the restaurant and gets a little loopy. And it's so funny. And talking about Bob and Tina, like the episode where she teaches him to drive. He teaches her to drive.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I was like, wait, maybe it's the opposite, because like if Bob's like born and raised in New York, maybe he doesn't know how to drive. But no, we've seen him drive.
No, yeah, and it's great, and I realize now maybe it's because I think I'm Tina and my dad is Bob or something. But,
is your dad like Bob, or are you just projecting?
I think I'm just projecting.
Okay.
So like any like episode with Tina, like friend fiction episode, and just those kind of episodes are great. I also really like the butt art.
Yes.
The butthole art episode.
Butt art.
Butt art.
Crawl.
Yeah, Auntie Gail.
Oh.
Yes. Oh my god, we didn't talk about her.
I love her.
Love her. I love Megan Mullally, I think.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah,
yes.
That's so funny.
That's her.
That's funny.
My best line from Auntie Gail was when she said, "My cat was right about you."
You know, I would say some shit like that. Would.
What about you, Danielle?
My favorite episode is really, really new. It's Roman Bobaday. It's
What's
when
that about?
they force Bob to take a day off.
Oh.
Yeah, oh yes, this was a great one.
I
And
did
it's
like that one.
The most relatable shit I can ever imagine for me. Because so basically they literally lock him out of the front and back of the restaurant, and they make him take a day off. And so he spends the whole day just like upset about not being able to work, and like imagining like what that's supposed to be like. And then he ends up like going and working at someone else's small business restaurant and helping them make sandwiches.
I need to watch this.
You do.
Yeah,
so good.
He's like,
And I forgot her name.
He's like,
she was voiced by Tiffany Haddish. Who hilarious.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was great. So he ends up like going there and she you know, same situation, is like a total workaholic, and there's like a guy there trying to date her, and she keeps blowing him off. And so like, so basically, like at the end of the episode, like Bob is just like kind of singing about how much he loves work as he's like making his way back to the shop, and like what he ended up learning is that like he just like is who he is, and he loves to work. The only thing he loves more than work is his family.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like if they need him to take a day off, then he will.
Yeah.
Right. That's sweet.
But they can't really dictate what that day off's gonna be.
Right.
I love
But
it.
it's so relatable to me because like when Ben asks me like, what will like help me relax? I'm like, working. It's like
I
what
shared a
else
meme
will help
about
you?
that.
Yes, that meme was so relatable. What was that meme again? It was like,
What do you do for work? Draw. What do you do for fun? Draw. What does it really stress you out to like draw all the time? Yes. Well, what do you do to relax? Draw. Like, why? Don't call me out like that.
yeah, so relatable.
Ugh.
So what does this? I wanted to hear what you guys think about this show in terms of what it means to you.
What it means to me is like a really wonderful, supportive depiction of a family that we don't normally get to see.
Yes.
Um,
I also agree. I think it's a fun, lighthearted, feel-good show that like I walk away from watching this show feeling happier. Like it's a show that makes me feel good about myself and watching it and knowing that like the things that are portrayed in the show is what happens in real life, and they are able to shed like a positive light on everything. Because so many times, like, I don't mean to bash it, but like I used to love watching Family Guy, and then all of a sudden it just got terrible. Like I got to a point where I was like, I'm tired of watching this family try to kill each other like every other episode. Like I just want something.
Yeah.
and that is what most, I think, like family sitcoms are. Well, maybe not kill each other, but most family sitcoms are like, it's just like
Them
a
bringing
lot of
each other
picking on
down.
each other and judging each other. And honestly, that is what a lot of actual families are too.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see like what a family could be.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and I like that. What about you, Jenny? What do you think? What does the show mean to you?
It's fun, you know? It's not like super meaningful to me, but it's a super fun show to watch with really interesting and funny characters.
I think it makes me appreciate aspects of my life more.
Yes.
Like, oh, I should try to be more like this or that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. What about you, Kosi?
Well, it's funny because I got introduced to this show about 4 years ago. My friend Kamani and Akuya introduced it to me after like some like brunch, and I kind of fell off it. I thought it was very funny, but I never, like I just didn't see it again. Then, hence Cartoon Network started playing them at 10 p.m. and now it's like a ritual for me to watch this before going to bed, and it makes me feel so much better. Even if I have like a bad day, a good day, it's just you end up, like Arkeida said, feeling really good. And just like laughing out loud. It's one of the few shows that I really laugh out loud. And I think I think it's great that they have that intention. They're not taking themselves so seriously, but the topics that they come about is like the way the writing is, like they weave them in there without trying to make a big statement about it. And I think, and also too, they're one of the only few shows that gets better every season. Because I have like issues with Family Guy myself. Like I don't like how they treat Meg. Like the way they treat Meg, that kind of disturbs me a little bit. And I like that they don't get nasty with one another. And families can get nasty with one another, but it's like we don't need to see that all the time. Yeah. So
it's not. You're right. Like there are so many shows that like Modern Family is probably a perfect example of like another like family show that they are like really judgy of each other, and like and like I still watch it, and I'm like, why am I still watching this? So, like, I don't actually really care about it that much.
Yeah,
it's not really getting
it
better
can be
with
funny.
each season.
It can
like,
be. There are moments.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely moments that like make me like, you know, teary eyed or laugh or this or that. But I don't think it's necessarily like getting better with each season.
No.
Yeah.
Another
Like Boss Burgers, it gets better with every season.
Yes. Another show that I will say is good at tackling family issues and racial issues, like all of the things that come being part of a family and being Black, is Blackish. Like that show gets better every single season, and I love the family dynamic there and how they like interact with each other. And they do get judgy towards each other, but it's like the way it's tackled, it's like we're gonna have this conversation. We need to have an open communication about it, and I think that's what I'm leaning towards now. I'm tired of seeing shows where it's like there's a character that's just there to be a punching bag because it hurts.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel good. I was gonna ask, so like, I posed this question because I'm a part of a lot of Bob's Burgers fan groups online, and someone made a giant thing about like really liking the show and liking that it wasn't political, and I kind of want to ask, do any of you find that the show is political in any way or just mindless fun?
I mean, I personally think everything is political.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think everything is political. I don't think the show is like overtly political.
Right.
If that's what you mean.
That's what I mean, at some point everything is political in my mind. Yes. Like, I think the question, from my standpoint... I don't think it's mindless. I think it's... No, it's not. I don't mean mindless. I meant, like, it's lighthearted fun. But from my standpoint, it was somebody who made the comment, and it was one of those guys that's like, everything is political, and I hate it. And I'm like, he's like one of those, I hate that comics are political, and like, comics are inherently political, so like, what you're saying is kind of invalid. And for me, I was like, this show might not be heavily political in terms of like fighting good or evil, and like having them be euphemisms for anything, but it is a show that has a pretty diverse cast. They have other characters of color. They have a lot of female leads. They have openly transgender characters on the show. They show them frequently. Like,
I think there could be more characters of color.
There could definitely be more characters of color.
I mean, it's based in Coney Island. Like,
yes.
Well, I mean, what we assume is Coney Island.
We assume it's either Coney Island. Some people say it's like Atlantic or that boardwalk down in South Jersey. Could be either or. I'm leaning towards Coney Island. But I think inherently the show is political in how it's everyone is portrayed, because you think about it and all the other shows that exist, and I'm like, there is no other show like this, and I think that's why people like it, and that's why it draws such a diverse crowd and audience, because there's no other show.
Tina definitely is.
Yeah. She talks about her sexuality openly in it. All the other shows that do that, especially if it's a cartoon, they're instantly shamed and instantly made fun of it, instantly made to feel lesser because of it. And it's like, I think that's where I was going. I'm like, I think political might have been the wrong term. It's something else, but like, I don't know. It's just, that's how I see the show. Like, it's set a bar for a lot of shows that I don't think anyone can't hold a candle to it or hold a light to this.
What do you think, Kosi?
Yeah, I think it's forcing writers to be more creative. Like, it's enough of like the revivals or things like that to actually kind of dig deep. Like, think about it. These writers dig deep for all these diverse characters. Even characters were like, oh, I forgot, and then we're going back to it and like, oh my god, they were so amazing. Like Aunt Gail. Like, that kind of, that kind of shows a lot. I don't think it's mindless fun. I just think their intent was to do a show that doesn't have to deal with the political bullshit going on right now and make people laugh on top of it. Yeah, I think that's really more it. I don't think they had, their intent was to be serious or to set the bar. I just think they were just like, we have a good idea, let's run with it, and people dug it.
Yeah, like, I mean, they definitely, like, make fun of capitalism a lot on the show, and, like, so it's, like, there are definitely political themes in the show, without making it so in your face that it would make someone who has to deal with these things on a daily basis, like, not want to watch.
Yeah.
From having it be too heavy.
Yes. It's a good escape, for sure.
It is.
Yeah. And anyone who says that they are, like, tired of, like, oh, like, comics being political now, which, again, comics have always been political, is someone who just, like, has just never been affected.
Yes, most people, or a lot of people's identities and existence are political in general.
Yeah.
So if you're lucky enough not to have to deal with that, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's anything else we want to say about the show?
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
Watch it.
Where can we watch it? Where can people watch it?
Oh god, Hulu? I watch on Hulu.
I think Hulu,
so
right?
Hulu,
What
or
is
on
it even
TV.
on?
It's on Adult Swim now and Fox.
Also, Jenny, do
Yeah.
you or are you going to cosplay Tina?
Me?
Yeah.
It's almost so easy that
Yeah.
I feel like it's a cop out. My
You-
sister did it.
She
Yeah,
did
but-
do it. I remember that.
My sister went to Jordan's party as Tina. She looked like Tina, so that was good.
I'll do it with you.
Oh, you won't be Louise,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I want to be
Um,
Jean.
Alright, I'll be Linda.
Yeah.
I'll make Fat Alright, Dragon Con is set. Alright, see you guys there, the general public.
General public. All right. So, thanks so much for listening. Please take a moment to subscribe, review, and rate us. It is the easiest way to support our podcast. And if you leave a 5-star review, we might pick it up and read it on the air.
Yeah, this week's review comes from Mermaid Zero Dreamer. It says, "This is quickly becoming one of my favorite podcasts. It's like listening to the friends I wish I had talk about all my favorite nerdy stuff and all the feels. I love how willing these ladies are to share their personal lives. It makes me feel like there are others out there who get me. Yellow heart." Thank you so much, and if you guys
Aw,
leave a review, we might read it on the air.
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So, Kosi, where can we find you on your social medias?
You can find me on Twitter at Kos27. That's KOS27. And on Instagram at KOSHARRIS, Kos Harris.
If you want to chat with us about the episode, also about the fact that we didn't bring up how much Luis loves puppies, which is my favorite part of the show, our social medias are Fandom and Wellness on Instagram.
Fandom and Wellness on Facebook.
And Fandom Wellness on Twitter.
And if you want bonus content, you can join our fangirl family at patreon.com/fandom and wellness for Patreon exclusive geek sessions. We just did Patreon geek sessions about Spider-Man Far From Home and Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. So we'll be putting those up soon, and if you want to
Well,
listen
by the
to
time
those,
this comes out, those will already be up.
yeah, you're right. They will be up. So join Patreon and you can listen to those.
And remember, be kind and take no shit.
Thank
Yay!
you. Hell yes.